Welcome back, guys. I hope that you like the content of the course that has been presented so far, and I've got a good news for you. I've got more award-winning XSS attacks in this course, and the next one on the list is XSS via cookie. So let me discuss it right now in this video. Let me start with the following statement. XSS attack is not only about get and post parameters, and I want you to keep this statement in mind. Many people who are testing for XSS attacks are just focused on get and post parameters. But this is the classics. When you want to be a successful XSS hunter, then you have to focus on something non-standard. And this is what I already explained to you in this course. Because when you focus on something non-standard, then you can go to the next level and then you can get your 4-digit reward for your XSS. And this is what I want you to be able to do, right? This is how it works. And as I already told you, XSS via cookie is another great non-standard XSS attack. Now, let me tell you what people are saying about this attack, because this is quite interesting. And many people claim that XSS via cookie is not remotely exploitable, but the good news is that these people are wrong. This is not true. And now, why is that so important that an attack is remotely exploitable? The attack like this, XSS via cookie. This is very, very important to be able to prove that your attack is remotely exploitable. And now I'm going to tell you why. When you want to get a 4-digit reward for your XSS attack, then you must prove to the BugBounty program owner that your attack is remotely exploitable. If you cannot do it, then you will not get any reward. This is how it works, right? So the difference here is very significant. If you can prove that XSS via cookie is remotely exploitable, then you can get a couple of $1,000s. If you cannot prove it, then you will get $0. So it's really worth to know how to launch this attack remotely, right? And this is exactly what I'm going to present in this course. But the reality is like this. A lot of people are not aware of launching XSS via cookie remotely, and this is an opportunity for you, right? This is the reason why I'm presenting this bug for you. Okay, so let's go to our story. And the story is like this. How to remotely launch an XSS via cookie on a.example.com. This is our story. This is our challenge. This is what we want to achieve. And now I'm approaching the technical part of this video, right? And now I'm gonna show you how you can do it. And please be focused throughout this explanation, because it's not so straightforward. I'm going to discuss different subdomains here, but I hope that everything will be clear at the very end of this video. Okay, XSS via cookie on domain a.example.com. How to do it? Let's start with XSS attack on domain b.example.com. So we've got another subdomain of example.com. It might be strange at the first glance that we are starting with an XSS attack on a different subdomain, but please give me a chance to go through the story, and then at the very end you will see that it makes sense, okay? So we've got an XSS attack on b.example.com. If you can find something like this, then you can set a cookie with domain attribute, and the value of this attribute can be .example.com. Please notice this leading dot in front of example.com, because it's crucial here. When you've got something like this, then the cookie is set remotely in a cookie jar of the victim, and this cookie will be appended to the outgoing requests to example.com and subdomains of example.com. And now the interesting part is and subdomains of example.com. And this leading dot in front of example.com is responsible for the second part of the statement, and subdomains of example.com, right? So this is how you can ask the browser of the victim to send out this cookie to all subdomains of example.com, right? and you can ask browser of the victim to do it as a result of an XSS attack on b.example.com. I hope that it is clear up till now. Please notice that this is very interesting. We are talking about sending out this cookie to all subdomains of example.com. And one of the subdomains is a.example.com, right? So what we've got right now is something like this. XSS via cookie will be triggered when domain a.example.com is visited by the user. And this is it. And this is how we can launch XSS via cookie remotely on domain a.example.com. We can find an XSS attack on another subdomain of example.com. So on, for example, b.example.com, we can use this XSS to set a cookie remotely in a cookie jar of the user with a specially prepared value of domain attribute, and this value is .example.com. This way, we ask the browser of the victim to send out this cookie to all subdomains of example.com. And at the very end of the story, our XSS via cookie will be just automatically triggered when the domain a.example.com is visited by the user. And that's it. So we are just using an XSS on b.example.com to set this cookie remotely in the cookie jar of the user. And then when domain a.example.com is visited by the user, then XSS via cookie is automatically triggered. And voila, we've got what we wanted to have. We've got remotely exploitable XSS via cookie on domain a.example.com. And now what is beautiful in the story is that if your domain a.example.com is extremely sensitive domain, and b.example.com is very insensitive domain, then this attack is even more cool, right? Because you can launch an XSS attack on very insensitive domain b.example.com, and at the very end, be able to launch remotely an XSS via cookie on a very sensitive domain a.example.com. It's cool, isn't it? And this is the beauty, of this attack. That's how you can make this attack work. And I can't wait to present it to you in the demo. So I hope that this is clear for you, more or less. If something is not clear, then I believe that everything will be clear after the demo. So yeah, let's jump to the demo and let's see how this beautiful attack works in practice. Welcome guys in the demo. In this demo, I'm going to show you how to launch remotely an XSS via cookie. I've got here two domains, a.example.com, which is a very sensitive domain because I've got here an administration panel. And I've got also b.example.com, which is a very insensitive domain because I've got a kind of help center here where I can just ask some questions. Okay, I'm interested in the domain a.example.com because here I want to launch remotely an XSS via cookie. So let me first show you that XSS via cookie is possible on domain a.example.com. I'm going to go to Cookies Manager. Cookies Manager allows me easily to play with the cookies in the cookie jar. And I'm going to change the value of one of the cookies. And there is a cookie named language with value English. I'm going to change the value of this cookie from English to, for example, script alert XSS. And I'm going to show you that XSS via cookie named language is possible on sensitive domain a.example.com. Indeed, it is possible. You see an alert with a message XSS and everything happens in the context of a domain a.example.com, right? So XSS via cookie named language is possible on domain a.example.com, but the question is how to set this cookie remotely in a cookie jar of the user so that this attack is remotely exploitable, right? This is the most important piece of knowledge. So I'm going to first change the value of this cookie back to English, right? And I'm going to show you everything step by step how to set this cookie remotely. Now you see that the value of language cookie is English, right? So here is English and the name of the cookie is language, okay? Let me close this. And let me refresh the page. Okay, cool. And now let's jump to insensitive domain b.example.com, and let me first show you that an XSS attack is possible here. So I'll put some simple script here in the search field. Alert XSS close script. I'll click search, and what you see is that XSS attack is possible on insensitive domain b.example.com. What's more, you can see in the URL that there is a parameter named question, and our XSS payload is sent as a value of this parameter, right? So this is how you can deliver this payload to the user. But now this is an XSS attack on domain b.example.com, and we want to use this XSS attack on domain b.example.com to set a cookie remotely in a cookie jar of the user. So instead of using a script alert XSS close script, I'm gonna use a different script that is going to do what I want it to be done. So setting a cookie remotely in a cookie jar of the user, okay? So we are on insensitive domain b.example.com, and we are going to launch an XSS attack. Let me show you this payload that will be used for setting a cookie remotely in a cookie jar of the user. So here it is. Please see the line number 2, right? Because this is the crucial part. I'm going to set a cookie with a name language. So I'm going to actually override the value of the cookie that is already out there, right? The cookie named language. And now the value of this cookie named language will be like this. So we've got a script with an alert, XSS via cookie, right? So as a result of XSS attack on insensitive domain b.example.com, the value of cookie named language will be overwritten with this value, right? So it will be like script alert XSS via cookie close script, right? Okay, and the very important part is that this cookie is going to be set with domain attribute equal .example.com. So this cookie is gonna be sent to all subdomains of example.com, which is really crucial part of this exploit, and this is what I explained to you in the previous video. Okay, so let's do it. Let's launch an XSS attack on domain b.example.com, and as a result of this attack, I will be able to change the value of language cookie, and I will be able to do it remotely, right? So let's do it. I'm gonna copy this script, and I'm going to go back to my browser. This is domain b.example.com. I'm going to change the value of question parameter because here is when my payload is going to be sent, right? Cool. Here it is. Let me double check if everything is correct. Yeah, we've got domain b.example.com, and in the question parameter, we've got our payload. And now let me hit enter. So XSS attack has been launched on domain b.example.com. Now let's go to the cookies manager and let's see what's the value of language cookie. This value is here. Very nice value. Script alert XSS via cookie close script. So can you see that? I was able to launch an XSS attack on insensitive domain b.example.com, and I was able to override the value of a language cookie. And as you can see here, the value of the main attribute is .example.com. So this cookie is gonna be sent out to all subdomains of example.com. So it's gonna be sent to domain a.example.com because a.example.com is a subdomain of example.com. And you already know that XSS via cookie is possible on domain a.example.com. So now I just need to visit a.example.com. I will hit enter and you will see XSS via cookie alert with a message XSS via cookie, right? This is beautiful. The cookie has been set remotely in a cookie jar of the user. So now it is enough to visit a.example.com. This cookie is automatically appended by the browser to the request going to a.example.com. And this is how we can remotely launch an XSS via cookie on sensitive domain a.example.com. So I believe that now all the pieces come together and you can see how you can launch remotely an XSS via cookie on sensitive domain a.example.com and how you can use an XSS attack on insensitive domain b.example.com to make it happen. This is really great attack. I believe that you also like it. Maybe it's quite complicated, but it's really nice, it's really cool and really powerful, and it allows you to do this magic. Well, magic, of course, it works in reality, but you can right now launch remotely an XSS via cookie, and you can get your 4-digit payment, which is really cool, which is really awesome. And I keep my fingers crossed for you. Find something like this, report it, and get your money. Okay, I believe that this is clear for you. So let me right now jump to another video.